Welcome to the SEO.co Search Engine Optimization Podcast. Digital marketing essentials and next level tactics. From offsite and on-site optimization to persuasive selling and everything in between. You'll learn actionable tips on what it takes to outright and outrank your competition. Now, here's your host, Timothy Carter.
Today we're going to talk about small business SEO and 3 DIY options when you can't afford an SEO expert. Relatively speaking, SEO has been and still remains one of the most cost-efficient marketing strategies available. Still, cost-efficient doesn't necessarily mean cheap. It means the results you see from your efforts will provide a positive return based on how much you put into it. That means you'll have to still make an original investment, and for small business owners with limited budgets, that can be problematic. Hiring in-house professionals to handle all your SEO work, means adding another full-time salary to your roster. And even that might not be enough to get you results. You might need extra help from a writer or social media expert to accomplish everything you want to. Alternately, it could mean hiring an SEO agency to take care of everything for you, but going too cheap means risking your site's integrity and more authoritative options that cost thousands of dollars a month. So both options might be too much for the average small business owner, especially if your small company is still in startup mode. At the same time, you know how powerful SEO can be. So, what options are there to get started without, compromising your budget? And, that's the DIY approach. Under that DIY SEO approach, you will take charge of your entire strategy, learning what you can do about SEO and applying that knowledge to your site alone, rather than paying for another body in your organization or enlisting outside help. You'll take advantage of the well-documented information on the web, like the articles and resources on our site, to guide you in adhering to best practices. Starting with on-site optimization and eventually extending, onto ongoing strategies like content marketing, social media marketing, off-site guest posting, and link building for SEO. It's entirely feasible for one person to take the reins of an SEO strategy, as long as you take the time to learn how to do it properly. Even if you spend hours a week studying to improve, there really are 2 big problems with this strategy. The first one is no matter what, you're going to make mistakes. We all do when we're learning. And when you do, there will be nobody to step in to take responsibility or help you figure out what to do to fix it. Of course, even an expert-directed strategy can run into errors and unexplained dips, but in those scenarios, you stand a better chance, of pulling off a smooth recovery. The second problem, is the time factor. It takes many, many hours a week to maintain even the most elemental content strategy. And you have plenty of other tasks on your plate as a small business owner. And then there's a DIY hybrid model. Under this model, you'll invest a little bit of money in some outside help, but still retain directional control. Like the DIY model, you'll rely on your own knowledge and instincts to direct the execution and handle the analysis of the campaign. You'll decide which facets of the strategy are most important, how to execute them, and what your target goals will be. You'll then communicate these needs to an outside party with low expense. For example, if you want to write about 1 blog post a week to start, you can contact, a freelance writer to take direction and handle it for you. For the most part, you can rely on the freelancers and interns to take over these kinds of responsibilities, but you'll still need to be there to direct them. As an alternative, you can even contact an agency who's willing to offer you individual elements of a full-fledged, service at a discounted rate. As you might suspect, there are a couple of problems with this approach as well. Obviously, freelancers and interns in your budget, have limited experience in SEO, and you might have to step in and correct some of their work if it isn't up to snuff. It's also a difficult strategy to scale. When it's time to increase your investment, you may have to scrap everything and start again with an in-house or an agency expert. And then a final DIY option is just the basics. Is to narrow your focus on SEO, really giving your full attention to only the most basic elements of the strategy. This includes making regular content posts and making off-site posts when possible to acquire those links back to your site. Ideally, it would include some level of on-site optimization, but if you don't have an experienced web developer working for you already, this can really be hard to pull off. And under the strategy, you won't worry too much about measuring results or hitting goals because you won't be investing much time or energy. You could even distribute the minimum amounts of work between you and your partners, so that it only amounts to a group total of a few hours a week. Obviously this won't earn you a substantial new stream of traffic or rocket you up Google's rankings, but it could provide a foundation for the future growth when you do have the budget or inclination to adopt, a more thorough SEO strategy. Consider this kind of the middle ground between doing nothing and pursuing SEO on a proper and complete level. As we wrap this up, if you can't, afford to allocate a proper SEO budget, at the moment, try not to freak out. Usually one or more of these three options, you'll be able to start building your domain authority while generating the revenue you need to hire and enlist the help of a real expert. Do note that most of these serve as temporary measures, and if you want to continue seeing results months into your strategy, you're going to need to step up your game. Most agencies out there that are reputable offer several different packages. So you'll need to step up and look to see, do your due diligence and find out exactly what they offer and to meet what you need. But, if you prefer to not go the SEO route and you're wishing for the highest quality natural links for your small business, you may want to consider, it being an investment in the digital footprint of your business future by hiring an agency like us, like SEO.co, to help you manage that so that you can focus on the bigger things in life, which is driving revenue for your business and the day-to-day activities. So, that's it for today's episode. If you want to get a little beyond, doing it yourself and need a little help, come on over to SEO.co and schedule a time to have a free consultation. Even if you still want to go the DIY route, we have a ton of material and a lot of education here on our site that you can continue to learn and grow and implement strategies that'll help you outright and outrank your competition. I appreciate your time and hope to, quote unquote, see you on the next podcast.
Thank you for joining us on the SEO.co podcast. We appreciate your time. Be sure to rate, review, and subscribe to the show and visit SEO.co for more resources based on today's topic, as well as access to more podcast episodes to help you improve your site's long-term SEO success.